Cassie and Ava, thank you so much for joining us. Cassie, can you just tell us about Ava's story a little? When did you know that something was wrong last year?
Ava started randomly throwing up like mid-August of last year, and we initially thought she had a stomach bug or it was acid reflux, or it was even tossed around that she had abdominal migraines. Something in my gut told me otherwise, but I thought I was being paranoid. It wasn't until she started complaining of a localized headache and being very specific. She'd point like right here, saying she had a very big headache, and she would stop playing and just lay down for like 30 minutes and then get up and start playing again. So we decided to just, instead of waiting for her pediatrician appointment we had scheduled for that Wednesday, just to take her to the ER to make sure it wasn't anything bigger, as I feared, and unfortunately it was.
What's the type of cancer that Ava was diagnosed with?
Ava has medulloblastoma. It's a type of brain cancer.
And when you got that news, obviously, I'm sure you probably had never even heard of that. Did you know what the road ahead was going to be like? Did you have any idea?
No.
Ava, you didn't? Ava, when you heard that,
Ava, go ahead.
Okay. Ava, when you heard that, were you scared?
Yeah.
Yeah? I would be scared too.
I had this fear in my gut that something, after I go to Dr. Google a lot sometimes when paranoid about something, and I had read about brain tumors, which prompted me to go to the ER. So when they told us the diagnosis, like she had a large mass, they didn't tell us the specifics of the cancer or anything like that. We didn't even know if it was cancer or not. But when we learned more about it, yeah, it was pretty terrifying.
I know, Cassie, the tumor was removed. Ava did radiation and chemotherapy. There's a video of her dancing on her way to radiation, which, Ava, first of all, you're a great dancer. You need to teach me how to dance, because I'm a terrible dancer. Do you like dancing?
Yeah.
I love this video.
She dances at any moment she can get. Even all throughout her high-dose chemotherapy, she was dancing.
Even at school, I dance.
Even at school, you dance?
Yeah, we dance at school to the music.
Well, Ava, I want to show a video of you after you getting a send-off at the hospital in June after your last round of inpatient chemotherapy. Let's just want to watch this video. Everybody's applauding, they're cheering you, and they're dancing with you. You danced out of the hospital. What was that day like? Do you remember it? How did that feel?
Tell them what you felt.
Good.
Yeah, I bet.
Remember the last day of chemotherapy when we saw all the line down the hall and everybody was cheering you?
Yeah.
You started dancing. How did you feel about that?
Great.
Great, I bet. What was the first thing you wanted to do when you got out of the hospital? Was there some food you wanted or something to do?
I just wanted to go home.
Yeah. I can certainly understand that.
Yeah.
How's Ava doing now?
Ava's doing great. She's in kindergarten now. We've been out of treatment since June. She took about a month to recover after her last cycle. You know, her platelets in her blood get depleted after each cycle. So it's basically, we can expect her to be neutropenic, which means like she's got no immune system whatsoever. And then her platelets and her blood counts will completely drop, and she'll need transfusions throughout the whole month. So that's kind of what we expected after her treatment. After she was dancing out, it was just straight into clinic 3 days a week with transfusions. So, but then this time she got to bounce back, because each time before, like every time she would start climbing again, we'd have to knock her down again with another round of chemo.
You know, Cassie, I should explain to viewers, Cassie, you reached out to me on Instagram, and I read a message that you sent, and I responded to you, and you were talking about, and then I started following you on Instagram and following Cassie, and I think what you said to me was so important to me because it really kind of changed the way I think about childhood cancer, and I started actually going to, for another story, going to child cancer wards and learning about the issues that you face. Can you just talk a little bit about what you want people to know about cancer in children? Because a lot of times in the, commercials or online, you see kids with smiling faces and beautiful beaming eyes. You want people to know the reality of what is happening in cancer wards across the country.
Yeah. I've said it in my Instagram. I know you watched it. St. Jude does great for childhood cancer. I really appreciate everything they do. However, a lot of their commercials are just showing like the kids, talking with the doctors or doing art or smiling, and they're just these happy little ball kids, and it tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, but you kind of leave feeling, okay, well, they're at a great hospital, they're being taken care of, they're going to, do the best they can. What it doesn't show is like the nitty-gritty, harsh reality of childhood cancer, and that is maybe 1% of what actually goes on when these kids are being treated by these like insanely outdated drugs. It wreaks havoc on their system. Their immune system gets completely wiped out. They get, Ava got mucositis from her mouth all the way down to her butt, like just sores all down her tract, to where like she was hospitalized for 10 days for that. And each time she even had a bowel movement, it was like the worst pain you could imagine. And, seeing your child go through the things that they go through with this stuff, it kind of like irks me a little bit that, when they show animal commercials of animal abuse, they show the nitty-gritty of it, and it prompts people to want to get involved and make a change, but it's not like that for childhood cancer, and I feel like we need to kind of be more open about the realities of it.
And I think the other piece of this, which you alluded to, and I want to talk about more, is, I think we all imagine, I was ignorant on this, I kind of thought, well, my God, childhood cancer, kids must get the most cutting edge treatments. There must be huge research being done in how to save the most innocent among us. And the complete opposite is true, because many of these childhood cancers are rare forms of cancer, rare brain tumors. And there's just not the economic incentive for pharmaceutical companies, others, to do the billions of dollars worth of research that it takes to develop new drugs. And a lot of the drugs that kids are getting, as you said, are 50-year-old drugs and treatments that just do havoc on their little bodies.
That were created for adults, not even children. Yeah, they weren't even created for children. They just tailor the dose to children. When you're about to get started on a treatment plan, you basically get this thick, long stack of papers basically describing all of the terrible things that could happen to your child. Everything from infertility to secondary cancers, to hearing loss, to all kinds of stuff. Like, it's just beyond crazy. I think there was maybe about 6 drugs that have been approved in the last 20 years for childhood cancer. And there's been over 20, I think, for adults. It's the most underfunded. Like, the NCI gets a allotted budget of $6.9 billion a year. About 260 million of that, they claim it's now 500. But even if it was 500 million, it's for all childhood cancer, all of that. And then brain cancer is like the last one listed because it's the most misunderstood.
Yeah.
And it's just in 2022, when you're going into this scenario, you would have hoped that there would have been better treatments, but the truth of the reality is there's just not. There's not. And And it's even worse because, you know, they're like, okay, well, here's your treatment plans. These are the 2 things we have for you, clinical trials. But ultimately, she's going to get these treatments that are decades old, and this is what it's going to do to her body. And even if she comes out of this, like, she's going to be a lifelong sufferer.
The other thing you encourage people to do is blood donations.
Yeah, when they're in treatment. Like, blood transfusions and chemotherapy treatment go hand in hand. Like, you cannot do one without the other. So if there's no blood, which there's a massive shortage right now, if there's no blood to treat these kids, they can't do the treatment because their body just gets depleted. Ava, I can't even count how many platelet transfusions she's had, to the point where her body started reacting and we'd have to give her Benadryl beforehand because she would break out in hives. So, like, I started a hashtag called Arms for Ava and trying to encourage people to get out and donate blood because, like I said, she can't do it, or she hopefully won't have to do it anymore. But these kids that are still going through this cannot do their treatments without people donating.
Ava, your mom told us that you're going to go to Disney World next month with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Is there anything particular looking forward to seeing or excited about?
I'm excited to go to Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain? Wow, that's probably scary, isn't it?
No, I went to Disney World once.
Yeah? So you're familiar with it? Well, you're clearly very brave.
We went to Disney World right before.
Okay. You're clearly very brave. So Thunder Mountain will probably be no problem for you. I think I would be scared on Thunder Mountain.
Do you think he would be scared? What did you do on Thunder Mountain? Did you put your hands up in the air?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just throwing her hands up right in the air.
Wow, you didn't even hold on to the things? You just put your hands in the air? That's cool.
She just threw them up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cassie, is there an organization that you want people to know about and how people can follow Ava's story?
Yeah, so basically me and a couple of other cancer mamas on Instagram got together and we kind of bonded over this same cancer. Their 2 sons suffered from the same cancer. Unfortunately, they did not have a happy ending. But we decided to get together, group together, and we partnered with this biotech company called OncoHeroes, and they have developed a therapy basically to treat Ava's and Kellen's and Camden's specific tumor, which is medulloblastoma group 3. With medulloblastoma, there's 4 subtypes of this cancer, and group 3 is the most aggressive, and that's the kind Ava has. So this kind of therapy is directly targeting group 3 medulloblastoma, and they are trying to gain the funding to push this into a clinical trial because they have really promising results with it. And so we are fundraising for that right now. And you can find it on the kellenford.com or the link, just the kellenford.com, I believe, is the link you can find it. So we're just trying to raise money to push us into a clinical trial.
And if people want to follow on Instagram, how do they follow you?
They can follow me on Ava Strong 17.
Ava Strong 17.
Ava Strong 17.
Cool. Well, Ava, you are incredibly strong.
And we post some fun videos. It's not all doom and gloom with cancer. We have fun videos too, right, Ava?
I love following. I love seeing Ava every day, like just living her life, and just I love watching her, seeing her hair grow, and just being out of the hospital, and just I can't wait to see the pictures from Disney World.
Right. We're gonna go in October, pretty much right after her scan. She gets scans every 3 months now for the next 2 years, and then if everything's great, then it'll move to every 6 months, and then after 5 years, they don't even consider this type of cancer cancer-free until after 5 years. So we have an upcoming scan that we are hoping to have a great result, and then go to Disney World to celebrate, right?
All right. Well, it's so nice to talk to you. It's so nice to meet you, Ava. And Cassie, thank you so much, and thank you for reaching out. And I really appreciate you being here and telling your story.
Anderson, thank you so much. Really, thank you for giving us a voice and just listening and giving us this opportunity to talk about childhood cancer, because it really needs to be talked about more.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it.
I know a lot of parents feel like no one's paying attention to this, and I mean, I can tell you, going to a cancer ward recently in Los Angeles, a child cancer ward, I mean, it was, every doctor said the same thing that you are saying, which is we need more tools. We need more, we need more arrows in our quiver.
We need more. I mean, $260 million is not going to cut it to get these kids cured. There's children dying of this every single day. There's children diagnosed with this every single day, and there's just nothing for them, especially for relapse. There's nothing for her if she relapses, and that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
And the fact that, Neptune's cool and all, but I'd rather see kids be cured of cancer than NASA's big budget.
Yeah.
They just shaved off some of that and gave it to childhood cancer. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I wish you'd continue strength. And Cassie and Ava, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anderson.
Bye, Ava.
Can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.